Good morning, I'm James Gruber and welcome to the Morning Report for Wednesday the 22nd of July. Well, US tech shares rose for a second consecutive day, this time sending the S&P 500 and Nasdaq into the green. It comes as investors gear up for some big American tech earnings reports, with Alphabet tomorrow morning, our time, and most of the other Magnificent Seven companies releasing theirs next week. The positive sentiment around share markets overnight came despite continued worries about the Iran war and the prospects for further escalation there. That concern lifted oil prices to 5-week highs. The Middle East hostilities didn't stop most other commodities from climbing either. And good news for the Aussie market. Now let's take a deeper look at what's happened with Aussie futures, commodities and currencies. The ASX is poised to open higher, with index futures up 0.2%. Speaking of the ASX 200, yesterday it closed largely unchanged at 8,794. Financials ended 0.7% lower, with the big four banks falling between 0.4% and 1.2%. Healthcare stocks lost 1.1%, with CSL falling 1%. Miners ended 1.5% higher, snapping a 3-day losing streak on higher copper prices, with BHP adding 1.3%. Today, there are likely to be further gains in resources stocks, tracking better commodity prices, while tech should also get a boost from improved sentiment on the Nasdaq overnight. On commodity markets, global oil prices climbed on worries that energy supply disruptions could worsen in the Middle East due to more attacks between the US and Iran, and a threatened naval blockade of Saudi Arabia by Yemen's Houthis. Brent crude futures settled 2% higher at just above $91 a barrel. Base metal prices were higher on Tuesday. Copper futures hit their highest in more than 6 weeks, up 3.4%, lifted by firm demand in top consumer China and sharp declines in inventories. Meanwhile, aluminium futures rose 1.3%. Gold futures gained on hopes of a diplomatic breakthrough between the US and Iran, which could ease energy prices and temper expectations of a hawkish Federal Reserve. The futures settled 1.5% higher at $4,076 an ounce. Iron ore futures edged down 0.1% as a rebound in Chinese port arrivals, following the clearing of Typhoon Bavi-related congestion, added to concerns about swelling inventories. Let's now take a look at currencies. The Aussie dollar was last trading largely unchanged at just under 70 US cents. And taking a step back now to see how Wall Street and other world markets did, the Dow Jones Index finished up 0.7%, the S&P 500 gained 0.9%, and the Nasdaq added 1.3%. A closer look at the trading day there. US share markets rose on Tuesday US time as a steep rally in semiconductor shares helped shift the focus away from the latest Middle East hostilities and tariff battles, while investors looked ahead to major technology earnings reports for clues on the future of the AI trade. Among the 11 major industry sectors, information technology led the gains with a more than 2.4% rise. The biggest decliner was consumer staples, down 1%. The Philadelphia Semiconductor Index climbed more than 5%, with Micron rising 12%, Intel up 8.6%, and Marvell Technology adding 6.7%. 3M shares gained more than 7% after the industrial giant lifted its full-year profit forecast. Hasbro shares rallied almost 9% after it raised annual revenue and profit forecasts, betting on demand for its digital gaming and Magic the Gathering products. Danaher shares sank 11% after the life sciences firm trimmed its core revenue growth outlook and reported weaker than expected revenue in its biotechnology business. MSCI shares tumbled 10% after the index provider raised its full-year operating expense forecast despite better than expected quarterly revenue. Meantime, US government bond yields advanced as escalating tensions in the Iran conflict sent oil prices higher and added to bets that the Federal Reserve will hike interest rates this year. The US 10-year Treasury yield reached a 2-month high, up 3 points to 4.63%, while the US 2-year Treasury yield gained 5 points to 4.26%. To the European markets now, the continent-wide FTSE Euro First 300 index ended 0.6% higher, as did the UK FTSE 100 index. Europe rose as gains in tech and mining shares took the focus away from fresh strikes in the Middle East, which pushed oil prices higher, while investors sifted through a fresh round of earnings reports. Technology stocks lifted more than 2%, the most on the index, with ASMI and ASML gaining 5.4% and 4.7% respectively. Miners climbed 1.7%, tracking higher copper and gold prices. Swiss bank Julius Baer dipped 4%, despite reporting stronger than expected first half net new money inflows, while lift maker Schindler dropped more than 5% after its quarterly sales missed market expectations. Novartis shares gained 2% after the drug maker beat second quarter core operating profit estimates. Let's now take a look at what's on the watch list. In Australia, Beach Energy, Lynas Rare Earths and Westgold are releasing their quarterly reports. In the US, there are second quarter earnings from Alphabet and Tesla. And that's it for today. For further developments on the local trading session, please tune into the CommSec Market Update podcast this afternoon and, of course, the Market Close video. Have a great day.